Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh Bashem, Mashah, Bashem, Makakodah, Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. I'm entitled this video, my favorite subject, One Step Closer to You Know What. Anyway, I'm watching, I got it on Alex Jones. I'm seeing Charlie Kirk. They keep showing that video where he gets shot in the neck. And everybody has an opinion on it, and videos come up and all kind of stuff happens. Anyway, this is my favorite subject. You know what I'm talking about, the MOTB. And I was watching this video put up by GMS Mawatazak Bungard 2. He's the chief out there in LA West, the West GMS. He came in from the beginning. He's still holding strong, doing videos. Anyway, the title of the video is Esau Edom has his system being rolled out gradually. I like that. Gradually. C-HIP coming soon. Because this technology that they have to chip everybody, they know it's the fulfillment of the mark of the beast, so they just can't put it out there. They got to give it to you piecemeal, gradualism. Let me do something. Gradualism in government. Gradualism in government is a strategy of achieving significant policy goals through a series of small incremental changes rather than abrupt sweeping reform. They just can't all of a sudden everybody got to get a chip, you know. They got to, we don't know how they're going to present it to the world, but the majority of the planet, 95+% of the people that on the grid, you know what I mean by the grid, you have a smartphone, you're on the World Wide Web, you have a laptop, a desktop, tablet. You shop or you go shopping. That's being a part of the grid. For you to go shopping, let's say you go to a Target's, being part of you can only purchase something with, paper dollars or a debit card that you have, your bank card or whatever. You can't come in there with seashells and say, well, I'm going to give you You can't come in with gold. Because I tried that. I offered somebody, I did it to two different mechanics. One mechanic, I offered him silver. He didn't, I'm dealing with silver. Another mechanic, a Seminite dude, and I offered him silver, an equivalent to what he charged me. I forget what it was, 100 and something, 120, 140, whatever the case may be. It was some years ago. And we were in the office, and I gave him a little lecture on gold and silver. And after I gave my lecture, I said, what do you want? I said, do you want the paper money or do you want the silver? Because it was 140, 130, whatever. You know what he said? He said, give me the silver. And I told him this. I said, if you change your mind, you got my number. Let's say you change your mind a week from now and you want the money, just give me a call. You got my number. You called me before. He got my number. So after I explained it to him, he said, yeah, and he said, nah. He said, I'll take it, But now if I go to Targets with silver, silver Eagles or whatever, and I explained, I said, look, I only have silver. They're gonna no, we don't accept silver, If they were smart, the manager would take the silver, convert it, into dollars. He would take the silver himself, give me the dollars, whatever. So they don't understand how money works, and I always say that. I watch the financial news, and I say these people don't understand how money works. Oh, the prices are going up. Prices are going up all over. The prices are not going up, but because you don't understand how money works, you're saying, you're making these Edomites too. The prices are not going up. Matter of fact, the gas that you pay, like around here, it's $3, $3.05, $2.99, whatever. That's dirt cheap. That's equivalent. If you go back in time, I remember in the 70s, talking about 70, prior to 72, the gas crisis, where gas was regular was like $1, 30 cents, so about 35 cents. Premium, that's when they had leaded. I'm gonna get back to the subject. I'm just giving you kind of idea how the money works. Anyway, regular gas was about 30 to 35 cent. So if you got $3, okay, 30. If you got $5, $6, you filled up the tank. So that was 35 cents. The gas, when you adjust for inflation from 35 cents to now, the gas should be about $10 a gallon. So you're really getting ain't nobody bitching about $3 now. They're used to it. But really it should be about closer to $10 to $12. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm ranting. I gave you a little money lesson. There's this woman. I listen to her when I do my walk. I pre-record a lot of stuff. It's a older, appears to be an Edomite. She's been in the gold and silver business for years, and if I find it, give you the title, I'll give it to you. And she breaks it down where a layman can understand it. A lot of these gold and silver people, money people, that use these words, and you kind of don't know the words, Anyway, so it says gradualism is in government is the strategy of achieving significant policy goals. You have a goal. A goal. You reach a goal by small. You want to lose 100 pounds. It starts with the first 5 pounds. Okay, for week 1 we want to lose 5 pounds. Week 2 we want to lose another 2.5 pounds. Or we want to steadily lose a pound a day. So if you want to lose 100 pounds and you're dedicated to it, it's going to take you 100 days, which is 3 months and change, right? It's incremental. So this is what the government is doing, leading to the main goal, the pinnacle, which is chipping everybody. And it's international. All these people agree. All these UN people, they all agree with it, right? It's an incremental series, through a series of small incremental changes rather than abrupt sweeping reforms. It is a key principle in political reformism and liberalism, focusing, you know what Isaiah 32 says about the liberals, focusing on slow evolutionary progress within existing institutions. You're part of an institution whether you like it or not, and is often contrast with revolution or rapid, drastic societal shifts. For example, a legislator might implement, we don't like that word, gradual changes to a policy to make them less noticeable to the public, allowing for large-scale shifts over time. So the goal of this system, the beast system, is to chip everybody. I don't know. I don't know why IUIC can't see it. I don't know why. ISUBK can't see it, and other camps can't see it. It's right in your face. It's right there. So anyway, I'm sorry. Let me do this. And you should watch this whole video. I'm going to try to play the whole video. I will speak on it a little bit here and there. But listen to what the elder says. I mean, we all say the same thing. But he uses his current event, which I spoke about this briefly. So listen and learn.
All right, hey, shalom, shalom. Before I get started, as always, I want to give all praise unto our power, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Salutations and blessings to the hopeful elect that are scattered throughout the four winds of the earth that believe wholeheartedly in the true doctrine that is being pushed throughout the four winds of the earth, war and hope of mercy and salvation during the time of Jacob's trouble, as well as when Yahweh Shai returns to the planet Earth. Okay, this should be pretty quick. It's something I came across, and I went to fact check it, and indeed, it is true. 86 million Vietnamese have been either locked out of their bank account or their account has totally been terminated. All right, and this is due to them not wanting to link their bank account with their biometrics, whether it be fingerprint or what's the other one? I think it's a retina scan, maybe. But let's read this, the AI overview, and then the receipts are receipting. So it is indeed true, but it's not being spoken about. And now you're gonna start to see these people in Vietnam, starting to uproar, because what's happening is that the elite bankers are requiring all these countries to turn over digitally so that they can initiate this one world currency, which is going to come through the RFID micro C-HIP, which we've been saying. All right, it's no coincidence you have all these countries at the same time. The people are uproaring. They're calling the Gen Z protests, all these protests that are happening around the world. They're calling it the Gen Z protests. All right, which are the young people taken to the streets because of government oppression. All right, social media control. All right, and now we're seeing here in Vietnam, which this is going to go everywhere else. All right, because these countries have sold out their people to the beast system already. All right, it's just the people are now just starting to find out, and this is why they have having these problems here in Vietnam.
Oh, let me say this about this rapture thing to show you that Christians don't know ish about the Bible. They were all talking about a rapture, and well, a rapture means that the true believers, the Christians of all nations, they're gonna be raptured out of here, and that there's gonna be a 7-year tribulation period, which the believers don't have to worry about because they're gonna be raptured. So why should you worry about the people down there if they're not? Or the PC? It doesn't make any sense. But anyway, they believe they're raptured. They'll be in the heavens and all that. And if they really understood the scripture, they would understand that the Revelation 13 and 16 will come to pass. And none of them understand prophecy. They don't understand the scriptures, especially prophecy. They're completely lost when it comes to prophecy. So we laughed at it and we joked about it. And I said the night before, was that the 22nd, of course, I said that there's not going to be a rapture. You got this one South African pastor, some clown, black pastor. He said that Jesus himself came. First of all, his name ain't Jesus, all right? He came to me, and I heard a horn in the background, and he said he's coming back on the 23rd or 24th. Well, you mean to tell me he's not sure? Let me see. I might. Can you imagine Jesus tell him, I'm come back either the 23rd or the 24th? I'm not sure. We're hashing it out. No. I said, this is stupid. So what did we do? We boldly made videos. Here's, you got Charlie Kirk getting shot again. He keeps showing it. You know, his wife got to see that shit every time. Can you imagine seeing somebody get their head blown off? And we don't know what the full story is. But anyway, the truth is going to come out, whether he's still alive, whatever the case may be. She was real quick to forgive the guy. Come on now. Come on. She ain't cried, ain't showed a crime, so we don't know. We don't know. It's up in the air. But anyway, you Christians don't know ish about the scripture, about the Bible.
Vietnam. So it says I asked Google, I said, did 86 million Vietnamese have their bank accounts seized, right? And AI review, of course, see, AI is starting to be regulated, all right? And you got to dig into it to make it tell you the truth, okay? It says, no, not all bank accounts were seized. Were seized in the way you might be thinking. Vietnam State Bank has initiated the termination or closure of over 86 million bank accounts that were inactive, which is bullshit. Ain't no bank account gonna be inactive, all right? Or lacked required biometric face or fingerprint verification. Okay? You see where this is going, all right? We see where it's going, man. Okay? The B system is being initiated around the world, all right, because it's going to be a global system. Okay? It says starting in September 2025, which is this month, the accounts were not arbitrarily seized, but were flagged for failing to meet new biometric identity requirements implemented to combat fraud and money laundering, which we know that's all bullshit. All right? They want everybody plugged into the system. All right? And this is, you've been hearing the apostles say the word gradualism. All right? And this is a part of it. Okay? They're gradually getting you to lock in with this beast system, okay? It says why the account closures are happening, and the number one thing is biometric verification, all right? Because ultimately they want to make everything the Internet of Bodies, because they want to put that RFID micro chip within you, all right? The mark of the beast. The technology, where it reads in Revelation the 13th.
Yeah, if your bank account is closed abruptly like that, when you go to buy something, did they get a notification? Do what you got to do. Anyway, I believe they got a notification that they had to go to biometrics. For the ones you that don't know what biometrics, let me give you the definition for biometrics. Biometric meaning involving the automated recognition of an individual by means of unique physical characteristics, typically for the purpose of security, relating to or involving the application of a statistical analysis Let me go to root words. Let me do it this way. Let me go to etymology. Etymology. The word biometric comes from the Greek word bio, life, but it also means body, and metron, measure. Yeah, so biometric means life measure or body measure. Let me do this. Can bio mean body? Well, a living thing, which is a body, right? Living thing. A body is a living thing if it's alive, right? Okay, so if you want to be more exact, biometrics means life measure or living things measure. Biometrics and the mark of the beast. Biometric systems, as sometimes linked to the Bible, sometimes linked to the Bible, biblical mark of the beast, by those who believe these technologies could be a precursor to a future system that tracks and controls commerce, biocell, and worship. As described in the book of Revelation, this fear is rooted in a biblical text carrying a mark. The word mark is charagma, which is a physical thing, on the hand or the forehead to buy or sell, while some interpret modern biometrics like hand scanners as a direct manifestation. Others argue the mark is a matter of alliance to the beast. Yeah, what it is, the last step to show full alliance is getting a chip in you, not a physical technology. Well, they don't know. Look up the word mark in Revelation 13:16. The word is charagma. Charagma. Matter of fact, let me do this. We already know this, man. Told you this is my favorite subject. Give me a second. Give me a second. Meaning. The word charagma from the Greek charagma means a engraved mark, stamp, or impression, like a tattoo, right? A needle. and it can also refer to a sculpture, figure, or idol, because you take a piece of stone and you sculpt it into a likeness. Historically, it was used for brands of ownership on slaves, because they want to enslave everybody, imperial images on coins, and marks of allegiance on soldiers, because it's going to start with they're going to push the mark with classes. They may start with the military. Anybody in the 6 branches or 5 branches of the military, you got to get a chip. A lot of them going to say, "Nah, I ain't with that." Example was the C. Ragamuffin. You had a lot of military guys said, "Nah, I'm not with that." So okay, and then they called them back. So them same guys that rejected the jump shot, they're gonna most likely reject that. Had this one video with his sister that's married to a dude. They both in the military, and she went to a store showing that she got the chip. So the military put it in me. So at first it's going to be voluntary, then it's going to be mandatory. So you're going to have to make a decision if you're in the military, especially if you're trying to make a career. You did 8 years in. What do you got to do? 12 more years to have a career and you're set for life. You don't have to make that decision because you're going to be honorably discharged. Then the nurses, the doctors, people on their jobs. What happened during the time of the C. Ragamuffin is going to be similar to what's happening now, but it's going to be more serious, man. And they already know that there's people that's not going to accept it. People are going to jump up and say this is the mark of the beast. So they're going to recruit these false pastors and ministers, and even among Israel, to tell you that it's not. Don't listen to GMS. And if you take it, that's your ass. There's nothing we can do. Well, can I ask for forgiveness? Nope. Can't ask for forgiveness. Let's come on back.
Chapter 16 verse, all right? It says, biometric verification. Vietnam's new regulations require face or fingerprint authentication for bank accounts. Now imagine if that happened here in the States, where
it is going to happen here in the States. It's definitely going to happen here in the States. You miss a couple of meals, you'll get a change of heart.
You won't be able to access your monies unless you do a biometric authentication. All right? All hell will break loose. All right? Just like all hell is breaking loose over there in Vietnam. People are going to take to the streets. All right? 86 million people. Okay, that's a lot. All right, the Lord is speeding this thing up, and he's speeding it up very fast. All right. I'm going to skip over the combat fraud and cyber crime. All right. I'm going to go down to digital transformation. The initiative is also a component of Vietnam's broader Project 06, aimed at digital transformation in the country. You see, the world is on board with this beast system. The world leaders, because they all have been bought and paid for or put in there, threatened, however you want to call it, by the devil, Esau, Edom, to get down or you're going to lay down, right? The impact on account holders, deletion of inactive/unverified, all right? Accounts that did not have updated biometric data or were deemed inactive have faced deletion. Challenge for the foreign residents. Some foreign residents have reported difficulties as in-person identity checks are mandatory and remote options are limited. All right, it says, and then it goes into some Bitcoin shit, which we don't give a fuck. All right. What we're seeing is that this beast system is being initiated around the globe. All right, everything is going digital everywhere. It ain't you ain't gonna be able to, like you had all these people here in Babylon talking about we're gonna get a plane ticket and move wherever the hell they talking about moving. Well, getting a plane ticket and moving ain't gonna save you from
anywhere you go on the planet Earth. If you're in order for you to be on the grid, to buy and sell, go to the hospital, drive a car, you got to buy a house with digital currency. So you can't. This is going to be a global thing.
This end time prophecy, which is to save your soul. All right. If you don't take it as an Israelite, all right, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai will deliver you. All right. But if you do take it, that's a one-way ticket to destruction. All right. Even if you are in another land. All right. You're not to take this technology.
Now, we don't know how it's going to work if you're an Israelite in another country when you take it, because the destruction is going to come upon. So we don't know. It doesn't specify what's going to happen. People are not just going to be hit with lasers. We don't know what's going to happen. It's not in the scriptures. So maybe the ones of you that live outside the country that take it, you might be all right. Most I might have to somehow make it whatever. We don't know. We're talking about if you're not one of the elect, you're definitely in America or the land of Israel. You're not going to get a ticket to get beamed up. Like I said, we don't know. Hey, glass darkly. 1 Corinthians 13.
So here go more receipts. This is from Consume. Let's check this one out. It says the State Bank of Vietnam has deactivated over 86 million bank accounts. That is a lot of people. Will show you that the people are not with the digital system. All right. So I ain't gonna read through this. I don't want to make this too long.
We're already in a digital system, but you can still use money. But a lot of places that you go to, they don't accept cash.
Cointelegraph, right? Why we Bitcoin? Vietnam closes 86 million accounts that fail biometrics. Okay. Vietnam's bank account purge is the best publicity for Bitcoin. See, they trying to get everything digital. And once everything's digital, now if it's digital, now you gotta the next step after everything digital is under the skin. All right? Under the skin.
When, not if, when they make paper dollar obsolete, everything is CBDC, central bank digital currency. You might ask, well, am I taking does that mean I took the mark of the beast? No. You take the mark of the beast when you get that chip in you.
So there's plenty of receipts. This is happening, right? 20 hours ago, 18 hours ago, 8 hours ago, 3 days ago. Vietnam shuts down millions of bank accounts over biometric rules. I don't know if I said billions, but I meant to say millions. Millions of bank accounts.
So Thailand is a model for the chip.
86 million bank accounts closed in Vietnam. This is a YouTube video, 5 minutes. Vietnam bank account purge boosts Bitcoin appeal. Okay? So we see what the devil is up to.
Devil's in the details.
Is that Gerald Celente? I couldn't tell.
The devil is in the details.
I mean,
the first people that's going to protest this when it comes to America are you white born-againers, you Bible Belt believers, you born-againers. You're going to say it's a chip. You're going to say it's a revelation. Jake ain't going to say nothing. Jake don't know what's going on.
we ain't really got to, I don't want to make this too long, but we see the beast system being erected. Look at all these, all this is dealing with finance, all these articles here. Crypto state, crypto economy, Ben Crypto, Live Bitcoin News, Happy Coin News, Asia News Network, bomb victims from Vietnam.
Remember, Trump was against it when he was 45. Now he's for it, 100%. He got his own Bitcoin.
Worst fraud set to receive repayment. Them was different articles. Right? But this is happening as we speak. People are losing their accounts over there in Vietnam. All right? So let's get this end time scripture that some of you Israelites just can't seem to understand or get it. Revelation 13. They don't understand that this beast system is being erected, all right? And it's gonna come to here to the States. Revelation 13:16. And he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark. And 86 million accounts seized or taken or closed. That's a lot of people, because they not down with the biometrics. How much more when they totally tell you got to put it up under your skin? Get a micro chip. Yeah, the world is getting ready to go into a state that only way you gonna make it through this thing is having rock solid faith, man. And Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. It's getting ready to get real bad. Okay?
And these Moors and black conscious people, Jake Christians out there, wherever, people that rely on the Democrats, Republicans, or in the money, they're in the finances. In order to remain on the grid, as I've been saying, you're going to have to take that chip. It's going to start with celebrities. We sound like a broken record, but it's right. It's right up the road, yo. It's right at the door. Matter of fact.
Especially here in America, with all the freedoms and the luxury of all the ATMs and spending money wherever you may go, and yeah, it's gonna get real bad, man. Okay. Verse 17 again, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. And we've been telling you, beginning with the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, do not take that technology. Just like we told you not to take that goddamn jump shot, we standing on business when it...
Mind you, the mother two major camps said to take it. The jump shot.
Come to this MOTB. Do not take it. If you want Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai to deliver you, if you want mercy on your soul as an Israelite, you are not to take that RFID micro chip. All right? You're not to take it. Okay? Otherwise, this is your future. Revelation 14 and 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, right? The same one from Revelation 13. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. So continue to stay locked in. Continue to stay prayed up. Continue to stay by the waters. Be planted and rooted, because it's getting ready to get to the point to where we're going to have to leave this world behind. All right? And you want to be able to have that faith to do so. All right? So with that, man, Lord will, this was edifying and exhorting as well as informative to the hopeful elect. Giving all praise to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. We on to the next. Shalom.
A lot of things are happening. A lot of things are going on. A lot of our people are confused. Bear with me for a minute. See what this is all about.
You already know Mike Lawler voted to cut Medicaid. But did you know Mike Lawler's vote could raise electricity costs in New York? All to give wealthy elites another tax break. Tell Mike Lawler, stop making us pay more.
I guess I was wrong about the multi-city attack happening across the nation. Now, guys, I was probably wrong about the multi-city attack, as there was a development today where there was there was a telecommunications threat, meaning bad actors, if you will, set up, meaning
United States Secret Service, U.S. Secret Service dismantles imminent telecommunications threat in New York tri-state area.
Bad actors, if you will, set up devices throughout New York City, or rather throughout the tri-state area, where it was going to affect the telecommunication system by way of jamming the system, flooding it with 911 calls, having encrypted messages between bad actors, if you will. And this was something that was foiled, if I'm not mistaken, by the FBI today near the UN. Now, the multi-city attack video I did a couple of days ago now is starting to make a little sense. Now, I said that I thought that attack was unlikely. But if it was to happen, you need to be ready regardless, because in this day and age, you never know. Now, I found...
You got 5 cops shot as Minnesota's raid turns into chaos. I think there was a shootout in Texas. And we know what's going on. The ones in the know. Trump has disaster Wednesday as he rushes back to D.C., excuse me. Charlie Kirk assassination, fuse elites reset plan for Great Depression 2.0. All this sister does is cater to white people. Let me see. The ship's got to come in. Get us the hell up out of here. I'm just checking stuff, y'all, for y'all. All right, let me check this one out. I got to come back and watch this.
I have a question for Hebrew Israelites. I'm not sure if, there are still some Israelites who teach this or not, but I'm going to just ask to see, all right? There are some people who believe that in order to be an Israelite, you need a Israelite father and an Israelite mother. If you have an Israelite father and a heathen mother, then you're considered a mamzer or you're not considered an Israelite.
That's absolutely wrong. You're an Israelite based upon your father. Your mother could be any nation. Your phenotype might look a little different based upon your mother. So I don't know what group is teaching that. Whoever's teaching that, whatever groups is teaching that, they're not of the elect. Yahweh B'Shem Al-Shai is definitely not dealing with them. And there's no such thing as half-breeds. So let's move on.
Some people's eyes, okay? Now, answer me this. For one, with Jacob, from Jacob came the Israelites, right? Now, when it comes to who Jacob had intercourse with to make the tribes or make his sons, I think all of his wives, they were not Israelites.
Jacob wasn't an Israelite. The Israelites was being formed. They were sons of the power. The sons of Adam, the sons of God in Genesis chapter 6, the fallen ones, the Nephilims, those were Israelites, but they wasn't called. Abraham was an Israelite. Lot, they all came back as Israelites. Israelites were being formed at this time.
Because Israelites did not exist until he had his sons. Because Jacob was named Israel, and the descendants that come from him, or the sons that come from him, they're considered Israelites. But how can that doctrine of you have to have an Israelite father and an Israelite mother to be an Israelite, how can that be true if Jacob...
Who's ever teaching that is the Lord ain't dealing with them. Just telling you.
Jacob had intercourse with other nations or heathen mothers to make Israelites. Wouldn't that make all of us mamzers? Technically. And then for two,
no such thing as mamzers.
Our people, according to the Bible, we're spread across the four corners of the earth, right? How can we be spread or scattered to the four corners of the earth if our people did not have intercourse with other nations to make children? Because I believe that you only have to have an Israelite father to be considered an Israelite, because you are the seed of your father. So whoever your father is, that makes you who you are, right? So in order for us to be spread across the four corners of the earth, which includes places like Asia, Europe, the United States, Africa, obviously, even possibly, I don't know about Antarctica, Australia, like for us to be spread across all those different nations and all these different continents, our men, Israelite men, would have had to have intercourse with other nations in order to spread across this whole entire earth. So can y'all answer that for me as well? If only that doctrine of you have to have an Israelite father and an Israelite mother to be an Israelite. But
why don't you mention the camp? Because none of the major camps teach that nonsense.
For one, like I said, the fact that Jacob, He made the Israelites by having intercourse with heathen mothers, and for us to be spread across the entire earth, the four corners of the earth, we had to have had intercourse with other nations as well. So y'all answer that for me.
I want to give all the praises and the honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rucha HaKwadash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the bishops of Great Millstone. Honors as well to the other elders, you brethren, you fellow believers of this faith. Shalom to you, few sisters. Shalom to the elect. So I want to touch on this video. I mean, this is milk to us because, you know, the ones of us been in the truth, and some of you have known the truth. But I want to touch on this a little bit because there are people who have these questions, you know, and the scripture says always be ready to give an answer for the reason of your hope of your calling. So, you know, sometimes I'll see a video like this and this brother here seems pretty sincere, and he seems like he's got pretty much a lot of it together. I heard him mention the word mamzer, and what's happening is it's those black-only Israelites. You should see their sign. Let me see if I can pull up their sign. I think this is it right here. I want to go into this sign a little bit. It starts off with Abraham and then Sarah, right? Let me zoom in on here. Sarah, Abraham's half-sister wife, Isaac, and Sarah's son. Rebecca, Jacob, Rachel, Leah, Jacob's wife, Bilhah, Zilpah, Leah's handmaid. And this is where it gets interesting. Reuben, Leah, Simeon, Leah, Levi, Judah, all Leah, Dan, Rachel, Bilhah, Leah, Rachel. You get the point, right? And this is why this man would have questions. You know, I've dealt with these kind of guys in the past. They even came up to our camp, and we dealt with them, you know, on different kind of levels. But it's all good, you know, it's all good. So what we're going to do, we're going to go into this lesson and prove that it's not about the mother, but it is the father. Now, and I want to say, let's be clear, let's go to Genesis 5:2. NIV, it says, he created them, male and female, and blessed them, and he named them mankind. Let me go into the regular. Male and female created he them, and blessed them, and called their name Adam in the day when they were created. So, you know, you got a lot of these people in today's society, especially so-called black men that are hooked on feminism and support feminism, right? Because they're there to bring forth the life. They don't technically give the life, but they do have something to do with the life. But the seed is of the father. The mother, you look at the word spermia, right, which comes from seed. You know, the mother has what you call mitochondria DNA. So this is why your child will look like the mother, right? But the seed is still of the father, period. So I wanted to touch on that, and we're going to go further. Numbers 1:18, some of us already know this, but maybe this brother will see it, or some people who don't know. And Moses and Aaron took these men, which were expressed by their names, and they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigree, like their food, you know, their dog food pedigree. Right, why? It's always after the father, right? After their families, by the house of their fathers, right? The house of their fathers. When you look at families, it really goes into fathers, right? When years ago they had the Housing Removal Act, or welfare for families and children, they said families, but they kind of took that away and said WIC, right? Because the families are for fathers, all right, are the heads. Let me say that. They're the heads of the families. Women just make up the portion, and I don't know why women today just don't want to accept that you are the weaker vessel and you are there to support your husband. That's it. You are a helpmeet. It's kind of like a man's toes, you know what I'm saying? He needs
Oh, they're gonna learn real quick. When all hell breaks loose, they're gonna learn. They're gonna learn to be feminine.
help to walk. There's nothing wrong with that, but they turn into this feminist society. I mean, we pray to a heavenly father, not a heavenly mother, but leave it to these guys. The Most High will be a woman next, right? It's all about Mary. It's not about the Messiah. And this is the ignorance that's being pushed, the wickedness, by the way, by their fathers according to the number of their names from 20 years old on upward by their polls, right? And it goes on to talk about, this is why you see the children of Israel with Reuben, right? It says children of Reuben, Israel's eldest son. This is why you see Judah, Benjamin, Levi, Simeon, so forth and so on. You see these men, right? Although there was women created as well. And by the way, they were called the sons of God, sons of the Most High, before they were called Israelites. It was still the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So, are we mamzers? Well, the word mamzer just means simply an illegitimate child. If you, and this brother's on to something, but if you if you were born by a woman that messed with quite a few men, well, you're a mamzer. And that's not even in the Bible, by the way. That's just a definition that was pushed, and really it just means an illegitimate child. So what they will say, if you lay with a white woman, then that's an illegitimate child, right? And it's not, because you're like, if you lay with a white woman and have a child, they consider that illegitimate. It's not. The problem comes when you look into these illegitimate families. We've all kind of went in an illegitimate situation at this point. Let's look up this word mamzer real quick. Okay, the mamzer is a term from Jewish law referring to a person born from incestuous or other forbidden unions, including the child of a Jewish woman who remarries without getting a divorce or decree. So we see that all going through society now. And when you look at the history, you look at Jephthah, right? They declared him illegitimate because his mother, I believe, was a harlot. Somebody can fact check me on that. But let me look that up, right? Why was Jephthah? I already know why she was sacrificed, because he made a vow to the Lord. Why was Jephthah rejected by his brothers? Let's see what it says. Jephthah was rejected by his brothers in the biblical book of Judges because his mother was a prostitute. So she could have still been of the Israelites, but she was considered a prostitute, making him an illegitimate son according to the cultural and legal norms of the time. So I would imagine all our mothers are at this point. If you mess with several men, and and of course Christianity teaches that you could, if you have sex with multiple men, you're not married unless you walk down the aisle. So you can see, if you want to look at it like that, then we all so-called mamzers. But that's why you believe in the Messiah, right? Because the Messiah covers all that. But even before that, at the end of the day, let's get an example. 1 Corinthians.
So this goes into something else, a little different. The guy asked a question. He talking to Israelites, not of the elect. He's just talking to some Israelites out there, blowing in the wind. Let's try this one. Yeah, this guy, he's a laughing stock. He laughed out of the UN. Yeah, he's a laughing stock, this guy. Nero. He's a real joke to the whole world.
Welcome, bearded Bible brothers. When I talk to people about the Third Temple, there are a few questions that always come up. And so how far along are they really in their preparations for the Third Temple?
And yes, you can see that they've already refabricated.
See, what you don't understand, that they don't understand, is that the third temple is being built right in front of them, brick by brick, which are the elect of Israel. Ezekiel 37, as I always go to. That's the building of the temple. You're not going to actually, they're saying, oh, we got to build a third temple. The third temple are the Israelites, starting with the elect. The city, John saw the city coming down. That's the third temple, which are Israelites. Listen to a little bit more.
Fabricated the articles of the temple. You see the golden showbread table, golden altar, the priestly vestments of the priests, the high priest. They even have the golden menorah that you can see there.
If they knew all of that, they would know that they dig up stuff. They would know clearly. They would know that the Levi, Aaron and Moses and Solomon and David were so-called black, woolly hair.
Is it going to be the size of Solomon's temple, Zerubbabel's temple, or Herod's temple? We're going for big. They're going for, closer to Herod's temple size.
Yeah, these guys don't understand. They don't know what's going on. The temple's being built right in front of them, and they're cursing out the temple.
This is important because it connects to Bible prophecy, to the Antichrist, and to the second coming of.
There's no such thing as Antichrist. Like I said, Christians don't know ish about the Bible, about the scriptures.
Jesus. And to the second coming of Jesus.
They've been looking for this red cow.
Important because it connects to Bible prophecy, to the Antichrist, and it's important because it connects to Bible prophecy, to the Antichrist, and to the second coming of Jesus.
They've been looking for this red cow, the perfect red cow, the prophetic red cow, for thousands of years. And all of a sudden, cresting on the hill, where does he show up?
This ceremony where they burn it down, it has to occur, they believe, on the Mount of Olives. It's going to be in front of God and everyone. Once they do it, the whole world is going to know that they've done it.
This third temple is at the center of a really great deception.
The red heifer has nothing with rebuilding the temple.
Because you have people today who are believers, who love Yeshua, who are championing the idea of a third temple. However, that's a bad idea. And Caleb is here to explain to you why you might not want to click that donate button so fast.
So there's going to be a lot of crazy that comes with this temple. So as everybody's cheering on, let's get the third temple, it's going to bring a lot of bad.
For me personally, I believe that the rapture will happen before the tribulation. That Jesus says we will be caught up, harpazo, right? The word that is used there. That will happen in the twinkling of an eye.
Don't rush to get Yeshua back faster. If he comes back faster, more people are going to die and spend an eternity separated.
Eternity meaning burning in hell. Yeah, this is recently IUIC, sorry, not IUCBK. IUIC teaches that there's an eternal hell where your spirit burns in forever. You're the worm. Where the worm dieth not. They get their wax. IUIC is waxing worse and worse. And we know why. We know why.
I want to give all the praises and the honor to Yahweh Bahashem.
So I'm going to let this play and I'm going to close it.
Yahweh Shah Bahashem Rucha HaKwadash. And double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone. Honors as well to you other elders, you brethren, you fellow believers of this truth. Shalom to you few sisters. Shalom to the elect. So, anyway, I want to touch on this video with these men saying, I guess it's slash Christian slash Jewish. I guess you got some Jewish people who believes in Jesus Christ, but the Orthodox don't. So I don't know why they're not doing what Apostle Paul did to try to wake up the people, but we don't see that. I think they say all the prophecies are done away with, or there's no such thing. I don't know. It's crazy because another word for the say prophecy or prophet means to say before, but also means to interpret. Because you got Christians who will say, oh, well, it's already written, so what do you need a prophecy for? Well, because of Revelation 20, Revelation 16, you know what I'm saying? The book of Isaiah. I mean, we...
Now look at this. This is in Senegal. Bear with me for a minute. African Diaspora News Channel is live. Senegal, which is in Africa, requires e-visa or electric visa payment for non-Africans. Now let me open this up.
Create assets that fit in with your entire campaign while staying on brand with Adobe Express.
You've been working from home, but your roommate just took up percussion as a hobby.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do.
Now, family, let me ask you this, right? Why is it that Africans are asked to jump through hoops to travel abroad, but when foreigners come to Africa, it's always open doors, no question asked? That is the question of the day. Well, Senegal has said enough is enough. From 2025, non-African visitors will have to apply and pay for visas online in advance under a brand new e-visa system. Now, Prime Minister Assoumou Sonko himself confirmed it, saying that it's about modernization and security. Sonko will have to apply and pay for visas.
I think all of these
foreigners come to
African
Africa
leaders are in the pocket of Iman. And I'm not talking about Iman Issa either. Let me do this. I'm sorry. Let me do this. Let's listen again.
Always open doors, no question asked. That is the question. Well, Senegal has said enough is enough. From 2025, non-African visitors will have to apply and pay for visas online in advance under a brand new e-visa system. Now,
under a brand new e-visa system. What did Trump say? The exit entrance visa system, which we need desperately. He was talking about the illegals. We got to track them coming in and coming out. So e-visa system, the E stands for electronic. You know, I can pay for something in Japan. If I purchase something in Japan and I use a credit card, that's a e-transaction, electronic transaction. So, you know, the first video I featured was the brother Mwatazak, the elder, and he was going into the Senegal, not Senegal, but to Thailand, that they closed 86 million bank accounts because they didn't, you know, comply with the digital requirements. So now you're hearing in Senegal, you know, you're going to hear more of it. And this is the elite, the beast system, the leaders of the beast system that set these people up. They're all bought and paid for, these puppet leaders, and you're going to see them.
Prime Minister Assoumou Sonko.
This guy's insider. Right, advance under a brand new e-system now. Prime Minister Assoumou
himself confirmed it, saying that this is about modernization and
this is about modernization. So he got the memo. He's an insider.
Security. And finally, Africa is standing up, right? So saying, if you make it hard for us, then we'll make it hard for you too. So what exactly is happening, right? Senegal's new policy requires all non-African travelers, so we're talking France, the US, Canada, the UK, China, and others, to pay their visa fees online before they even arrive. Meaning that this will actually generate around 60 billion CFA francs in revenue, which is approximately $97 million. And I believe that is money that will go straight back into Senegal's budget to fund things like public services.
So the leadership of all of these Africa, I say all of them. I'm going to say all of them. All right? Because if there was some legitimate prime ministers, presidents, or whatever, heads of states, if they were legitimate and they were doing the right thing, they'll get Charlie Kirk, you know. They're all sellouts, man. And here you got Nate over there trying to wake the people up. They kicked you out of France, they're gonna kick you out of most countries in Africa too. Well, then again, they might accept you because you're pushing the. You're pretty much saying, and not so many words, that there's nothing wrong with taking the actual microchip.
And actually strengthen migration systems.
Excuse me.
Government also says that the e-visa system will reduce fraud and corruption, so there won't be more messy paperwork and bribery at border posts. It will all be digital and transparent.
Right, yeah, so people cannot. Well, if you pay me this under the table, that's why that's the main reason why they want to do away with the money system, paper money system.
Processing, but make no mistake, right? This is not just about efficiency. This is about power and fairness. Countries that demand visas from Singanese travels, and we know who those are, will now face the same requirements to visit Senegal. So, I mean, I really love this because for too long, Africans have had to beg for access. You want to travel to Paris? Show them your bank statements. You want to attend a wedding in London? You need to explain yourself like a suspect, and you want to study in the US, you need to basically prepare to be interrogated. But meanwhile, when the citizens land in Dakar, they just walk past with smiles, right? But Senegal is saying no more. Senegal is saying, if you want us to jump, then you will jump too. And I respect that because it's about dignity, it's about balance. It's about finally putting African nations on equal footing in global relations. So this policy truly resonates with me deeply.
They got told what to do. They got told what to do. Anyway, let's see what else is happening. Everything's moving fast. Give me a second. Give me a second. Yeah, he made a fool out of himself. Too many things are happening. This guy, wrap my body tight. You know who he's singing to. All his songs he's singing to MENs. Anyway, let's go ahead and check this. What's this all about? Yeah, the voting system that's from Esau in America. Let me see. Trimble. Woman at ease. This I gotta see this. Okay. Oh, New York Times accidentally tells truth about. Well, we already know it. The ones that have more than 2 brain cells know it. The joke that got him, Dylan. Anyway, shalom, on to the next.